Hello everyone, it has been a long time since I last uploaded a YouTube video. Well, I'm making two separate videos. The first one, which is going to be this one, will involve something for it's for Amelia and it's going to be for a part of the panel for the celebrity Patrick Seitz, or Seitz, or however the heck you pronounce it. Well, I cosplayed as Wario, and my friend that you'll see in the video is Waluigi, and he did answer a few of our questions, so that was nice that he responded. So yeah, enjoy the video, and then after that I will upload one involving the cosplay contest that me and Waluigi entered. So yeah, enjoy.
I'm just noticing how tall I am compared to this. Yeah, and I should not be anywhere near the edge of the stage. I'm just going to back that up. Hello, guys. That's been all the time we have. Thank you for coming so much. It was great. No, I'm Patrick Seitz. I do voice acting. I know some of you are probably here because cosplay contest is coming up, and a chair is a chair. But yeah, chairs! But in case you're wondering why I'm up here, that's fair. I do too. Patrick Seitz, I do voice acting. I also do script adaptation for English dubs, and sometimes I direct English dubs, and sometimes I direct English video games. Yay, video games!
Yay!
Hand-eye coordination, yeah! Yeah, no. Actually, a couple months back, I was driving in LA, which was my first mistake, and I was in the fast lane, and this dude, I'm in the fast lane, I got concrete next to me on the left, and to the right of me, in the leftmost regular lane, they're not moving, and this guy just jams into the fast lane right in front of me, into the carpool lane, and I stomp the brakes and spin out and end up sideways in the lane, didn't hit the concrete, just tapped one of the little cars on the corner. Of course, but later I thought to myself, you know what saved my life that day? Video games. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's what I'm running with. Video games saved my life. Thank you, misspent youth, and teen years, and 20s, and all of my 30s so far. Yeah, video games. So the way I usually do these, because preparing is hard. I'm a voice actor. I don't even have to memorize things. I read words. When I have to memorize, I get grumpy. So the way I'm going to do this, which usually works out well, is I take questions from you guys, I answer the questions. It reminds me of things, I go on tangents. We loop back to your actual question at some point. And we have a pretty good time. So it's a good mix. I see some familiar faces. Some of you guys I got to see in the other room at my table. Who came up and said hi? Who just walked by and who just walked by and game faced me? Anybody? A couple? Yeah, I remember you. No, wait, what? No. I can't get over the fact this is right here. It's just right where my head is.
Do you want to put down?
No, I might end up sitting on the stage, but this is a good sight line, so whatever. I guess I did some questions. Anyone have questions? You've got a question?
Here you go.
Of all of the voice acting roles you've done, if you had to pick one favorite, what would it be?
Ooh, if I had to pick one favorite. Oh man, that's...
I personally liked you in Hell's.
I don't know if I could pick one favorite. I mean, there's Frank in One Piece, there's Grimmer in Monster, which nobody saw, but it's an amazing show. I've been lucky, because I usually get to play, villains or big fun cyborgs, or otherwise sort of character-y kind of guys. I'm usually not the hero, but that's okay, because the hero is usually I'm the hero, and I will save the world. Why? Because I'm the hero. Meanwhile, you meet the villain who's got some cool backstory. I'm just saying, I'm a little biased. So I don't know, I couldn't pick, but Frank would be on there, Grimmer from Monster would be on there. Simon would probably be on. You know what? If Simon got to go and have adventures, he'd be on there. Is Simon who's all like, Russia sushi, eat, it's good for you. Like, I want to see Simon like going into his backstory where he's in Russia, he's fighting people. I mean, I guess season 2 of Durara kind of does that, because suddenly Simon's doing stuff that's not all restaurant-based. That's cool. Spoiler bombs. Yeah, now you know. So I don't know if I can pick. That was a really bad answer. You asked me a simple question, I'm like, I don't know.
It's a
Hard to say. I'm gonna go over this side now. Ooh, you've got a hand prepped. I see it.
I think it's started.
Ooh, good question. How did I get started? I got started in this because back in the day, my mom taught at a local private high school. And they would do, instead of doing multiple plays throughout the year, they would do one big musical. And they did this thing. Oh, they brought in this lady from outside the school. She wasn't even the drama teacher. I don't know how she first got hooked up with the school in the first place, but she had studied with Lee Strasberg back in the day. Because this was back in the day, and she was old. So, like, back in the day, times back in the day, like back in the day square. And she didn't care that we were high school. She's like, we're going to do a musical, and it is going to be great. It is going to be great. And we lived in Peterborough. So they would do one big musical. They would rent out a school that had an auditorium. They'd get an orchestra together. They'd rent the set. They'd rent the costumes. They would practice incessantly. And they'd put on, especially for high schoolers, a really good musical. Sort of became a thing. Well, they would give tickets to the teachers each year to bribe them. Who here has done theater before? You guys know when you get to that last week or two before the show opens, you're zombies. You're not sleeping. So to sort of bribe the teachers into like, hey, sorry, your theater kids are zombies, they would give the teachers tickets. So from an early age onward, like 8, 9, 10, earlier than that even, my mom would take me to these musicals. I remember South Pacific. All I remember about South Pacific was seeing some fat dude run across the stage in a coconut bra. In my 6-year-old mind, I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. This is high art. I love this. This was great. And so I kept going to those. And then finally, when it was time for me to go to high school, I ended up going to the school my mom taught at. I was a freshman. I was like, I guess I'll try out for the musical, because... like, looking back, I really wasn't very introspective about this at all. I was just like, I guess I'll do that thing I've always watched because I'm here and I can do the thing. Like, I don't know what prompted me to do that. So I tried out for the musical, and of course I got in because I was a guy, and they always need guys when you're doing theater. And then I got the bug. I was like, musicals. Yeah. Yeah. So I just kept doing them, started doing plays as well. Was in college, didn't go for theater because that's not practical. Went for creative writing. So much more practical than that is. No. And then I thought to myself, hey, I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to finish college as fast as I can. I'm going to go to LA and be an actor because it's just as simple as that, I'm sure. I'm going to get there and they'll be like, oh my God, Patrick Seitz, thank you so much. Here's your script. We start shooting Monday. He's here, guys. He's here. We're good. We're gonna make it. I had no idea. Like, I didn't think that I was all that in a bag of chips. I just had no idea how the world worked because I was 20. And you guys are 20 and know how the world works. I was not one of those 20-year-olds. You guys have friends like that who are like, tra-la, life, I don't know. That was me. So, went out to LA, spent a year and a half in LA trying to be an on-camera actor. It sucked. I didn't like it. But I was able to get some voiceover work going because the lady that I'd studied with, the crazy old, like, musical lady, had told me, hey, doing voiceover on the side might be something you want to pursue. I'm like, yeah, when I'm not busy with TV and movies, I could do some voiceover, I suppose. And that ended up being where I had the luck. So even after I was like, nah, I'm not feeling LA, moved home for a couple years, and then the voiceover stuff picked up to the point where I went back out to LA and kept up with it. But it was basically me just doing like, I want to do this thing. Wait, nope, that thing sucks. I want to do this thing instead. But that's life. That's what you do when you're in your 20s. You have a plan, the plan goes wrong, you're going to fall to your own, and you're like, okay, let's reevaluate that plan. Something I should mention, it's not actually germane to your question, but I do like mentioning, because people ask a lot, like, how did you get into voice acting, or how do I get into voice acting, which is usually the follow-up. I think it's really important to have something that you like to do on a creative level that you can do without someone having to give you permission. Does that make sense? Because even if you do local community theater, somebody has to say yes. There has to be a show going You have to audition. There's going to be more people than parts, and somebody gets told no. You know what I mean? Like, you're not in control of that. Whereas, if you like to sing, write songs, play music, draw, cosplay, whatever it is, you can sit down and go, I'm going to do this thing now, and just do it. You know what I mean? I am lucky insofar as that my job is my creative outlet. But even if I weren't doing this, I would have a creative outlet. The thing you love and the thing that you do to like nourish your soul aren't always, or the thing you love to do and the thing you do to get paid and to pay the bills aren't always going to be the same thing. It's cool when they are. It's got its own set of difficulties that comes with it. But make sure you have something that you like to do. Because people say, I want to be an actor, oh my God, I want to do this thing. I'm like, well, what if it doesn't happen for you? You still have to nourish that part of you. You still have to have that outlet. You know what I mean? The thing you do for your job isn't necessarily your real life. It funds your real life. If that makes any sense. I know for me it sounds like so much blah, 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 whatever, because I am doing both at once. But even if I were working some job I hated, I'd probably be doing more theater. I haven't done theater in forever because I don't have time. But if I weren't doing creative stuff during the day, I'd be doing creative stuff at night. So, I don't know. That wasn't your question at all. Just want to mention before I forgot. Back to the question. Whoosh. Glitter Princess.
You played Germany and Italy, right?
True. Next question. I know. I was just kidding.
I think they were okay. Daddy, hit me, I want a hug. That means they want a hug.
We don't have a hug. There are no hugs from Germany ever. I say mean things to young people and you clap.
Horrible people.
It's a charmed life. I'll tell you a fun story about Italia. I almost did an audition for it because when they sent out the audition copy, the artwork they sent out with it was of all the chibi forms. And so I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't know about this little German 3-year-old. I've sounded this way since I was like 15. I don't think I'm going to book this. I'm just going to try. It's stupid. And then my girlfriend was like, you know how you like to complain? I was like, yeah, I love to complain. Oh, are you kidding me? She said, look, if you don't audition, you can't complain about not getting cast. And I was like, oh, man. I like to complain. Okay, I'll audition, but I won't get it, so whatever. And I got it. I was like, I can't complain. I did that same thing with Agni from Black Butler. And you guys saw, because at that point, all they had left were, I think they had cast the whole thing except for Agni and Soma. And I was like, I really don't have an Indian accent in my bag of tricks. This might sound kind of racist. I'm not even going to try. And my girlfriend was like, remember what happened with Italia? And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Okay. And then I got it. But those are weird days because Italia and Black Butler were recording at the same time initially. So it'd be like half the day doing Germany and then like, okay, reset, now it's Agni. Okay, reset, now a couple more hours of Germany. Because when I would go down to Texas, I live in LA, but I'd go down to Texas, the way to make it the most efficient use of time is just record all day. That's not usually how they do that. Now back in the day when they were all starting out, like the old guard original Funimation crowd that was doing like, Dragon Ball, they could record all day because they're vocal Vikings. They would just scream all day.
At 7 or 8 when you leave.
Because they're Vikings and crazy. I just did it to get back to LA, but that's how they roll. So when I went down, I'm like, I gotta keep up, man. I can't be like, I've got some vocal strength. I can't yell anymore. I just can't. That's not gonna work. So, which is how you end up with bloopers like the Pain and White bloopers from Italia. The Cats and Deutschmarks, that happens because you've been recording for 10 hours straight. You're like, woo! I'm surprised! Woo! I was going somewhere with that. I forget where. We're taking the question. This time somewhere over here. Yes.
I know I keep talking about this, but I have another question. What happened in that one gag reel with Kokinoe and tell me Professor Kokinoe was just jumped on Robin and screamed and all? You guys like
I told David we were never going to discuss that, ever. I don't know what happened when the screen went into black. I mean, I know what the internet thinks about Rogan and Jin. I've got some theories. I'd like to think it's all in good fun. It's their brothers, man. They're brothers. I'm the same. Anime. I want to get a theory? You want to hear my theory?
Yeah, here's the theory.
My theory would be that after the screen went to black, Jin succumbed to his latent narcolepsy, fell straight asleep, Ragnar, like, shoved him off, called him a dumbass, and went about his day. But, like, threw a blanket over him before he left, because he really does care. He's like, is it okay? He's got a blanket. Okay, I'm just gonna... That's my theory. It ain't great, but it's mine. I'm gonna veer back to this side. Yes.
Do you have to do any vocal warm-ups before you go to record?
Depends on the character. I mean, luckily, I'm usually getting called to be people that scream, or are demons, or both. So, if I'm doing something in the morning and I've been like, hey guys, what's up? I'm down here in the morning, blah, blah, blah. It usually lends itself to whatever I'm doing anyway. I think the last time I did a character where I really had to sort of like prime my throat for it. Maybe George from Paradise Kiss? I mean, granted that was a long time ago, but he was very sort of, I'm here, and I'm in high school, and all the girls love me, and most of the boys love me, tra-la. Not my usual thing. For me, it's mostly more than warming up the voices, is just taking care of it after the fact, because I do a lot of screaming, so sometimes I leave the session, I'm like, hey guys, that was great, thanks a lot. I'll see you next week. There was a time, oh god, there was a time where, who here plays WoW? Oh, people. 8 million of you! Wait, no. I was doing the Garrosh voice, and for whatever reason, it needed to be done like right away, like immediately right away. And it ended up being 5 hours of the Garrosh voice, which is tough because it's 5 hours of this sort of voice, except screaming. Oh god. Oh god. Oh and that was pretty rough. That was the thing. We got to the end of that session, I was like, I can't talk anymore. I think the thing that got me the worst though was Fairy Tail. Because I went down for Fairy Tail for the Fighting Festival arc. And there's a point at which Natsu is just talking to Makarov, and they're explaining stuff about how the Fighting Festival works and blah, 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 blah. And in the background, Boxes is just powering up. Like, going Super Saiyan in the background. He's not attacking. They're talking. He's not, like, sneak attacking him. He's waiting for them to be done. But he's just powering up, so he'll be ready when they finally fight. So it's just him be like... No payoff! Over and over! So there was like 3 days of that, and then I went home for, I think, a Blaze Blue game, and I was like, oh. Nope, that's not gonna work. That was tough. Also, hiccups. That microphone will pick up every little thing you do from either end. Some people don't care. Some people are like, there must be a duck in here. I'm not quite that crass. There was one time I was directing somebody. We were working on a fighting game, and the woman in the booth, said her line and did the exert, like blah blah blah. I'm gonna kick your ass. And then she just started laughing. We're like, what happened? And she's just cracking up in the booth, and we have no idea why. And so she finally comes out and she's like, I totally farted. I totally farted after I did the punch. And so then, of course, the engineer, plays it back and, cranks up the volume. Because then once the engineer finds the sound, it's over. A lot of times we'll beep it, it'll be like beep, 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 and and then we start talking. If it's something we have to match or flap. And so, of course, once there was that fart, the beeps, it was... and then we're talking. I was working on this, Killer is Dead. Any of you play that?
Oh.
Weird game. But it was very sort of film noir and cinematic and close and blah, blah, blah. The mic was really hot up close. And we're recording in the morning, and I'm doing the line, whatever it is, blah, 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 the killer is dead, yada, yada. And all of a sudden my body goes, it was my stomach! But it wasn't just a little like, oh. It was like, it had its own Doppler effect. And so I'm just staring at myself like, looking through the glass, the client is there from Japan. They've flown across the world to be here for this. I'm so sorry. Horrible. And it just kept doing it. I'm like, okay, not eating breakfast didn't work. I'll eat breakfast. Next day, I eat breakfast. And you just can't do anything about that. There are times where you're doing exerts and you start hiccuping. You can't fix that. I remember one time, this was many, many moons ago. I didn't know about Bishonen. No one had told me about Bishonen. I didn't know yet. It was on my second or third thing. And I'd been sick. I was like 22. This was many years ago. I'd been sick as a dog and I had to record. So I'm like in there and I'm mostly okay, but I'm still kind of feverish and all sweaty and out of my mind. And I do the line. And then the client gets on the button from the booth. They're like, very good. One more time. This time, more gay away, but ooh, sexy lady. And I'm like, more gayer way, but ooh, sexy lady. Those don't even. Did you just see those? Oh my god! But there's no time to think about that because it's like beep, beep. Like she gave me the note, and then we just beeped into the line. I'm like, blah, 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 whatever the line was. Blah, 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 blah. And I did it, but I had no idea what the note meant. And there was no time to ask. Because I didn't know about Bishonen. Later I found out she meant like Bishonen. I'm like, oh, more gayer way, but you sexy lady. Okay. That makes sense. Now I got you. At the time I had no idea. No idea. It's horrible. Oh. Sorry, I just want to share that story. Because now I know about the anime. Yes. Pasta. You know what I love about Germany? I get to yell at people, and they're so happy. So they're like, say a line is German. I'm like, I hate you and your ass face. I'm like, wow, that's an outlet for me. That's great. Yes.
Me?
Yes.
What is it like voice acting Scorpion for Mortal Kombat?
Voice acting Scorpion for Mortal Kombat is awesome! Although I'll tell you, it's one of those things where you feel the pressure because you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I didn't originate this part. This part existed well before I was involved with it. And, bonus points for the guy that originated the voice being the creator of the series. So I really want to do a good job. Because I'm sure at any moment he could be like, yeah, so... Get over here! And I'd have to get over that. That's the law of get over it.
And what was it?
But it's been amazing. I mean, I first got in on the whole Mortal Kombat deal back when they did Mortal Kombat versus DC. You guys remember that? Which was sort of, I feel like that was sort of a trial round for like Injustice. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if you look back, you're like, okay, they were sort of practicing those ideas and seeing how they worked. But a casting director by the name of Bridget Berdine gave me a shot and let me read for it, and they liked it and they brought me in. And that, especially when you're first starting, like, I bet you guys, at some point or another, have been like, oh, it's so-and-so again, it's so-and-so in the game, it's so-and-so in the dub, oh, look who's the lead, it's so-and-so. And that's fair. I have those moments too, trust me. But there's a reason why it's always the same names that come up, because yes, companies want to find someone new. They want to feel like, oh, hey, I went out into the wilderness and I found this random person, I brought them in and they were great, and look what I've discovered. But what companies want even more than that thrill of discovery is they want to get it done on time and not breaking the budget. And if they know they can call this guy, and this guy, who've done it 1,000 times before, and it's like falling off a log for them, no surprises, no questions, they're going to go in, they're going to knock it out, and we're going to wrap the day early and be home. They're going to go that route 9 times out of 10. You know, and you can argue about like, well, they should take the chances, blah, blah, blah. But the reality of it is, especially with anime, especially because you have to match the lip flap, and that is a very specific skill set, a lot of times they're going to defer to people that have done this 1,000 times before. Now, granted, some companies are better than others about being like, hey, this person might have some talent, let's give them a small part and see what they do. Didn't suck, okay, we'll give them a little bigger part. Wasn't bad, okay, we'll give them a little bigger part. But there's not a ton of us that do this. Really, in the grand scheme of things, compared to like on-camera stuff, it's a pretty small, funky community. We are small. We are funky. I'm not small, I'm big, but I am funky. Is there a hand in the back?
I know this is a tough question, but what is the role you've had the most fun with?
Oh man, role with the most fun. Probably Frankie from One Piece, just for sheer amount of stuff, and because it's so zany. I'm like, okay, so let me get this straight. I am a cyborg wearing a Speedo and a Hawaiian shirt with a blue pompadour who runs on the cola in the fridge in his stomach, who rebuilt himself after getting hit by a train because they stole his fishman mentor. How is this even a real thing? Like,
It's not.
it's One Piece. I feel like Frankie, like, sort of sums up my entire anime career all in one awesome character. And actually, the way that came together, I was cast as Frankie like 1,000 years ago because they had this game, One Piece Unlimited Adventure, on the Wii. And I was down in Texas working with Mike McFarlane. I think that's when I was just a random fishman in One Piece. There was this fishman that looked kind of like Danzig, but he was like a sea manta. He was like, "Arr!" Like the gigantic shoulders. And so I was down there, and then they were casting for the game. And Mike said, hey, do you want to try for the game? I'm like, yeah, sure I do. And he said, okay, we're going to get the audition, send them to Japan, and we'll hear back. But if you get cast in the game, you literally have to come like right back. I know you're going home tomorrow, but you'd have to come back like a day later. I'm like, okay, sure. So read for Frankie, got it, came back, did the game. The game was like, 2, 3, 4 hours. And then didn't do Frankie again for like 7 or 8 years. Because the game was so far ahead of where they were in the English dub. And then Funimation went back and redubbed all the stuff from the very beginning. So by the time they finally got to Frankie in the dub, I was like, do I get to still be Frankie? Because at first I was like, hey Mike, is it time for Frankie? Is it time for Frankie? He'd be like, not quite yet. Okay. A month goes by. Hey Mike, is it time for Frankie yet? Not quite yet, I'll let you know. Okay. How about now? Nope. At that point I stopped asking. I'm like, okay, it's going to be a while. So 7 years later, I didn't want to assume. I'm like, hey Mike, was still going to be Frankie? I hope so. And the answer is yes. So yeah, I love the One Piece. It's so crazy and zany, and I love the figures, and I love the character art, and I love the crazy crap that people do, and I love the fact it's all about friendship and pirates. I hope that the One Piece, when they get there, they're going to open this big old treasure chest, and there's just going to be a mirror in the bottom of the treasure chest. They're all going to be looking at it like, where's the treasure? Where's the treasure? And then they're going to realize, oh crap guys, we're the treasure. Friendship and the lessons we've learned is the treasure.
That sounds weird.
I'd be okay with that.
That sounds nice.
But there'd be rioting in the streets. I know that would not suffice everybody. But really, like, if they get to the end of this show, and Luffy's like, oh my gosh, I'm king of the pirates, and like, look at this awesome gold scepter I got. Is that really going to make anybody happy? Are they going to be like, oh yeah, that is a very nice gold scepter. That's definitely worth the 35 years it took to get here. No, that's good on you. That was a really good end of the show. It's got to be friendship. It's got to be. Think on it. Friendship. Yes.
What is your like experience with? Because I'm from Aurora, I know. What is your experience with Johnny? Like, what's like that talk between you two?
My experience with Johnny on Bosch?
Yeah, because he plays Isaiah.
He does. Johnny's quiet. I don't know if you guys, anyone who's met Johnny, he's very chill, very quiet. I didn't think he liked me at first. I mean, I don't know for sure that he does actually like me, but I thought he disliked me. Because he was so like, I'd be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. He's like, what's up? I'm like, oh, crap. What did I do? Why does Johnny and the Bosch hate me? And then I just realized, like, he's just on, like, power saver mode. You know what I mean? So he has it for when he needs it. It's been good. I mean, it makes me laugh that I've played his dad in shows. I've played, like, the father figure of Johnny in shows. Dude's older than me. Yay, anime! Makes no sense. It's like opera. If you sound like the bass, you can be the village elder at like 20. It doesn't matter. You got the pipes for it. It doesn't matter how old you are. That's why I like being a dude. It's just gonna get older and weathered and weirder. It'll sound like Michael McConaughey. Yeah.
What was it like playing Lyric?
It was like playing who?
Lyric.
Oh, I don't usually get to be a reptile, so playing Lyric was fun. I never did actually play the final product. I know they had the 2 Sonic games that were a little different. I heard they were not crazily well received.
Best Sonic game ever.
What was the name of the dude? Was it in the other Sonic game? They had all the villains.
Lost World?
Yeah, was that guy? No Mom, Zomom.
Zomom.
He was all like, I'm just hungry and want to eat things. I think that one was better received.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad to be in a video game at all, man. At least I can be like, Sonic, you've heard of Sonic? If you're like, I've heard of Sonic. I didn't like that one, but I've heard of Sonic. Like, hey. Because a lot of times people don't know what I'm talking about. If they don't know about anime, they're like, what is this Japanimation? I don't, a JRPG? I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure. Yes.
Can you do a Jersey accent?
Do I do a Jersey accent? I mean, I could do a little bit of a Jersey accent. It's not great. It's, you know, just me riffing and whatnot. But into that sort of thing, I guess I could do a little bit. Why not? Was that horrible? Was that okay? Doesn't come up often in the anime, but yeah.
Well, I was asking because me and my friend were talking about like Undertale and how Seitz would have kind of a deep Jersey accent.
Oh, Undertale. I need to buy that. It's on sale on Steam right now.
It's amazing,
But I also have like 1,000 games on my Steam list. Like I need to. I'm still playing Darkest Dungeon. I gotta parcel my time out. So many hands. Oh. Yes.
What's your Steam name?
I think it is. It's either Seitz Unseen altogether or like Seitz _ Unseen. Because it's clever because I'm a voice actor, you just hear my voice, so it's Seitz Unseen.
Very funny.
I try. Sometimes I fail. I try.
That was a win.
Yeah. Oh, let's do the first one, see how that goes. Oh, you know, the test was going around, and I clicked it, and it was like, sign up for the blah, 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 to find out. I'm like, no. No. I just want to click a couple things, you tell me what house I'm in. I don't want to sign up for an account. I don't want, like, I'm probably Hufflepuff. I like to read. I'm not off saving the world. I'm probably Hufflepuff.
Luke, costume contest is in 25 minutes.
What? No. Oh, that's right. You know the first one, okay? Sure, yeah.
What's your favorite joke?
I thought it was cosplay.
Okay.
What kind of cosplay?
Okay. Knock knock. Interrupting cow. I do like that one. That doesn't get old. My problem is I always forget jokes. I love jokes, but then I forget them all except for interrupting cow, which is really the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop. Get it? Because cows, you milk them. Dairy. Yes, doctor.
I want you to do your best British accent.
Best British accent. I don't know. I mean, am I sort of like, am I just a fellow on the streets doing his thing, doing his thing, as it were? Then the THs into Fs. Well, Parshin. Ooh. Like, the internet's like. Oh, no, you didn't. So suffice to say, I'd either have to hit the gym or do a character that wears a mask where nobody was, ever any of the wiser. I wouldn't mind being in shape to do Gamagori. If I can just magically be like, I've got abs, and I know where they are. That's great. Let's be Gamagori. I don't know. It seems like it'd be fun. I have a bunch of friends that cosplay, and they have fun doing it, so I'd like to do it. But I'd be trash, because I'd have to be just closet cosplay, because I can't sew or make things, and I craft it all.
You just hit to the thrift shop.
It's true. I'm there anyway, buying my everyday clothes, so why not? That's a good question. Hey,